welcome back. If you're just tuned in for the Move It or Lose It and you didn't do any of the band work, I'm sorry we're running late because we got crazy with the bands. Joanne talked too much. Nothing new there. Okay, so Move It or Lose It class. If you have never come to Move It or Lose It, it's usually a very educational class. I'm not going to do too much of that today because this video would be 3 hours. We generally go through the body and the joints, and in class I normally teach about the joints and things to do and not do with the joints, and movements that are good, movements that are bad. So for today what we're really going to do is just make sure we hit all of the joints. When you are thinking about being as fit as you can, we tend to think about, oh, I gotta sweat. If I am working out and I don't sweat, I did not get a workout, okay? That is not true. If you think about yourself as a crane, okay, and you have an arm to that crane and then you have the bucket. The problem with a lot of us is and I've done it myself and I've been injured a few times from exercise a few times. And what happens is we come into the gym and we think we got to lift weight. Okay, you can't lift 1 pound. You can't lift no pounds when you're doing a bicep curl, right? You have to use weight. And so you load that bucket with weight and you see all the other people in the gym, what they're doing, and you try to imitate them. The problem is that crane's arm likely has some cracks as we get older, especially when you hit about 40. Things happen. Okay, so you have cracks in that arm. And unless you fix the cracks in the arm, something's going to go wrong. So this class, I say, is about fixing the cracks in the arm. Okay, so we're going to start literally from the feet up. So let's start with the toesies. Okay, so if you're not warmed up, we're going to do really quick again. Though most of you are warmed up, we'll go through round and round with your ankles first, and then back the other direction. And then lift for the knees. Again, when you're thinking warm up, okay, yeah, you just run some stairs, so your heart's going and you're warm, but you want to make sure that every joint has had a little bit of movement and is lubricated, okay? Lubricating those joints is what's going to reduce pain. And let those hips go out a little tiny bit. There are many ways to warm up the hips. We're keeping it simple today because I think most of you have been here for a while and I want to speed it up. Reach, reach. And arms. Feel free to send me a message later. Tell me, what are you doing? Like, are you stuck at home? Are you self-isolated? Is your work still going? You know, what's going on with your life? Do you need anything? You know, if you are not feeling well, again, if I'm feeling fine right now, I'm more than willing to bring you anything that you need. None of us need to be stuck all by ourselves in our house without any help. Okay, this is a time to get together and help each other out. Okay, good. So let's start with the feet. So we're going to start with the toes. So what you're going to do with your toes is first have a peek at them. Do they look fairly straight? Good, that's what I want. Do they curl under like that? We call that hammer toe. Is that happening? If that's happening, I'm going to limit some of the movements for you. So the first thing we're going to do all together, it doesn't matter what your toes look like, is splay. We did this yesterday in the stretching class, and back. Splay. So think about separating your toes. Some of us are like, they aren't working. It's okay. Use your fingers too. That'll help your brain. And splay. Is that big toe moving? Can you actually bring him outward? That's a good thing. If he's a dud right now, keep working on it. Good. Now you're going to, leaving your feet flat, you're going to try to pick up just your big toe. Okay, the little toes are going to stay and you're just going to pick up that big toe. I can't do it. So if you're staring at the video going, what are you wanting me to do? This is what I want you to do. And I want you to use that muscle all the way up into your foot. Mine doesn't do it yet. So sometimes I have to actually help him out like this. Okay, so get that big toe. Now we're going to do the opposite. You're going to leave that big toe down. Now that he's awake, it's going to be hard. You're going to try to just lift the little toes. That one I can do. Lift the little toes. Feel those lines all the way up the feet there. Okay. Lift, lift. Good. Those of you that have straight toes, I want you to curl your toes as if you're bringing something to you. Those of you that have toes that look like this already, I want you to do more of the straightening and lift the whole foot, lift the whole toe, not the foot, just the toes, okay? Straighten those out. We don't want to do much of this. You can do a few of these so that the muscles on the bottom of your feet work, but you don't have to do the same amount that some of us have to do, okay? So curl, curl. Right now, some of you are going, oh, Charlie horse, cramping, cramping, okay? And that means you need to strengthen the bottom of your feet. So take a rest for now, but work on it. And curl. Good, perfect. We're going to, I love the way I push off the back of the chair. If you saw my chair, you'd realize why. Okay, so you're going to dorsiflect, which means you're going to lift the toes off, keeping the heel down, down, lift, down, okay? It's okay if you're feeling that tight cramping. Ooh, little Charlie horse in the calf today. Up, up, up. The importance of the feet in a brief message, your feet are the bottom of your body. They're the foundation, okay? If you do not have good, strong feet, strong ankles, you're going to have issues all the way up the kinetic chain of your body. Never ignore your feet. Up, up. There we go. Now we're going to come onto the toes. So heel up, up. That'll give you some relief for what you just did to the front of your legs and the front or top of your feet. Up, up. There we go. Okay, we're going to get crazy here. One foot up on the toes, other foot, up on the heel, up on the toes. Got it? So up, opposite, switch, 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 switch. Some of you are laughing and swearing at me right now. It's okay. You can do it. This is the way you walk. Up, 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 up. Good, okay? I want you to bring your right foot out so that your heel is on the ground and your toes are up in the air, okay? And you're going to point, flex, point, flex. You're gonna feel that up into the knee area, and that's what I want, okay? This is also a stretch that I use, a dynamic stretch that I use a lot throughout the day. Yesterday you heard me say that I use this a lot for the upper body. This is my lower body go-to. When you're doing this, if you really think about what you feel everything coming right up into the hip. On the back, you feel everything coming right up into your bum. So it's kind of a catch-all movement. Okay. So the purpose that I'm using it for now is to get some mobility in that ankle and a little bit of tiny feeling in the knee. Okay, switch sides. Same thing. Let's work on that ankle mobility. Straight, straight. Sometimes we use bands. Today we're not going to for the ankles, but we do a little bit different. A lot of the things stay the same with this program, but they change as well. Okay, nice and straight. Dorsiflect, plantar flex. Dorsiflect, plantar flex. That's what it's called, the movements, if you're caring. Point and flex works too. Beautiful. Okay, so for today, let's bring that foot out again on the other side. Let's let that knee bend, okay? So your knee should be bent. You can come up onto your heel again, so hopefully you can see what I'm talking about, okay? And what I want you to do with keeping that heel where it is, I want you to think about somebody pushing your knee to just straight. Don't go locked out, don't go too far, just straight. So let the knee straighten, come back. Straighten, come back. My foot isn't moving. My heel isn't moving, I should say. Okay, and I want you just to work on that knee a little bit. Push. If there is any pain in your knee, especially behind the kneecap, I want you to firstly try to reduce the amount of movement. If that still doesn't take the pain away, this is not the exercise for you, okay? So then you just hang out and have a sip of wine or water or whatever you went and got. Okay. The rest of us should just feel the muscles around the knee contracting and relaxing. You might feel some clicking. If it's driving you nuts, you can stop, but if you keep going, that clicking should stop. Clicking, popping without pain is perfectly fine. Okay, let's go to the other side. Okay, so heel locked down, knee bent. Find that position where, this one's got a little tricky. There we go. Where I don't have to move my heel and I can straighten out. So a lot of people will want to do that with their foot. No, okay, it's coming from the knee. It's as if somebody pushed your knee down and came up, pushed your knee down and came up. So I feel more of these muscles than I feel down there. The foot is only moving because it doesn't have a lot of choice unless I try to lock it in place. Okay, but it's not coming from your foot, it's coming from your knee. Push down, no pain. Okay. Good. You're going to stand up. We're going to work these muscles a tiny bit more. So depending on what kind of floor you have, this is going to be a challenge on the rug for me. We're going to work the inside of the thighs by pushing one foot out slightly, okay, and then sliding it back in. Push it out, slide it back in. Push it out, slide it back in. If you can't push it out because your rug is not working, you can use a face cloth or something next time, or for now you can just place it out, let it step a tiny bit and then pull in. So what I should feel is a little bit happening in here. I'm making sure that my knee is not turning, okay? You don't want to see that. So if you see that on my video, call me out please, okay? The knee should be, I'm already a little bit knock-kneed, so it happens. So bring that out, make sure that's straight with the foot, come in. So you're using this part of your leg to come in. Okay, come in. Come in. Good, let's try this side. If that hurts your knee, sit back down and do some more of the other movement. Or, remember this one, here, do some of those. If this hurts your knee at all. Okay, so step out, pull it in. Step it out, pull it in. There we go. Really focus on what those knees are doing. I don't really care about the rest of the body. I care about your knees feeling safe, this muscle engaging. Why this muscle? Very important knee stabilizer, okay? If it's starting to bother you, shut it down. One more. Okay, have a seat. We're going to work on the hips in a sitting position. So those of you that are ready are staying with me from the last class, we're going to do this again. Those that are new, you're going, what is she talking about? This is going to become your favorite thing to do. Grab a band. If you don't have a band at home, I'm going to show you an alternative in a second here, okay? So those of you with a band, you're going to be in this position, nice and tall, really tight, okay? Even tighter than you did last time. Keep your feet about 2-3 inches apart, sitting up. You're going to push against the band, thinking about the side of your hip and the glutes medius as shortening, contracting, shortening, no, contracting, releasing, shortening, lengthening, okay? You guys keep doing that. Those of you that don't have a band, you can do this a little bit, but you're not gonna get the same effect, but you can definitely do that if you think about the muscles, what they're doing. You can also get down and do some clams, if you know those from class. Those work good. Or if you want to do some 45-degree kickbacks today, you can. So remember, that's rotated 45 degrees out and back, keeping the hips stationary. Okay, anybody that wants to do those, you can sit up and do those if you don't have a band. The rest of you, start, keep that tension, and bring your feet apart. Okay, start to bring your feet apart. So 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there. Not right out yet. We're gonna do 3 stages. So right to there. Keep pumping. Pump. And a reminder, I'm too far away to see any comments you're making, but I will look later, and if you have a question, shoot it out there and I will try to answer that later privately to you. Or if you're too scared to answer a question, like, why does it hurt when I do this? Private message me and I'll message back, and I'm more than willing to FaceTime you and watch you do it so we can fix it, okay? It's important to do things properly. You don't want to perpetuate bad movement. So why are we working the hips? This is the one muscle that I work in Move It or Lose It quite a bit. And the purpose is your balance and your stability really are dependent on your hip muscles, okay? So wider, don't release, keep that tension. Push out, here we go. Your glutes medius specifically is a super important muscle. Okay, push. My house is hot, I might need a fan up in here. Or maybe I could open a window. Duh. Okay, push, feel that burn now. Stop swearing at me. It's good, you like it. If you don't, learn to. Hold, I'm being nice today, we're shortening it up. Hold it, feel that contraction, let the rest of your body relax. And pump, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, you got it, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, slowly release, you got it, perfect. So I don't always stay on the chair for this class at all, but for today I think I will. Okay, so you're gonna stand up. When I say stay on the chair, I mean chair, I mean not laying down, clearly. Okay, so stand up if you can. We're gonna work on our balance. So the starting point of balance is to be able to stand on one foot for 30 seconds if you can, okay? So what you're gonna do to start with is make sure that your foot is flat on the ground, nice and wide. You're not rolled out, you're not rolled in, you're nice and strong. You have a triangle on the bottom of your foot. Your heel, big toe, little toe area, use that whole triangle, okay? So once you've got that and you're nice and stable, make sure your hips are straight. So if you have a mirror around, work this in front of the mirror normally. When I pick my foot up, I don't want to see that, and I don't want to see that, okay? I want to see a nice straight line at your hips when you pick your foot up. If you're scared of picking your foot up, put it right there so it's like ready, 2 seconds. If you fall, you're right there, okay? You don't have to go way out here, way out here, way out here, unless you want to challenge yourself. So just bring that up and hold that. I'm going to open my window before I die. Okay, there we go. We don't have any curtains. Sorry, we don't have any curtains in this upper room, and it's toasty. Okay, so you should be holding. Whoop. Okay, good. So when you're holding, you should really feel right here, that glutes medius, the muscle that you just felt when you warmed it up with that lovely band. That's what you should be feeling. Okay, good. Bring that down and bring up the other side. This one is always my weak side, and I'm a little off right now anyway, so it's going to be a challenge here. Okay, so I'm not going to use my arms. I have noticed a slight issue with the concussion. It's not noticeable on that side, but it's quite noticeable on this side. My weak side is definitely being challenged more than it normally is. Any of you that normally do this with me, feel free, right? Feel free to come forward, play around with this, do whatever you want, but the rule is you can't get those hips out of alignment like this, okay? So you can do whatever you want, keeping those hips in alignment. long as you can. You should be very aware of the muscle that is doing most of this work. Okay. Those of you that don't know this, most of you have heard this from me a million times. Why in the heck, we're going to go back to the other side and repeat it. Am I making you stand on one foot? At what point in my life am I ever going to stand on one foot? Some of you are yelling the answer out every time you walk, okay? Every time I walk, if I slow it down, I'm on one foot, right, before I go to the next. So if I don't have that ability in my hips to do that, I am not stable, okay? If you are not stable, falling is what the result of not being stable is, and that's not something we want, okay? And let's switch sides. Let's try that other side again. Okay, again, what is that foot doing? Okay, I just caught myself rolling my foot. So keep that foot nice and planted and secure. Come up, think about your posture. Think about, see if you stand up straight, there's gonna be some automatic tightening in this area. Okay, you wanna use that. So this is a good example of what challenging looks like for me. This is my foot right now is going absolutely insane. So is that the weakness in my ankle, or is that my proprioception needs to be worked on a little bit? It wasn't like that a month ago as much. So I'm thinking that my proprioceptors, if I didn't do this as much as I do, I almost guarantee that this wouldn't be solid on this side. Okay. The only reason that I do not have as many balance issues with this concussion is because I work this. The reason that I don't have as much issues on the back of my neck muscles as I do the front with this whiplash is that, as everybody said, I work these muscles like crazy, so they were really strong. Thank God. Okay, good. Okay, let's move on to some shoulder work today. Okay, so sit back in your chair. We're thinking about more range of motion, so I'm not going to use the band today. So let's think about the rotator cuffs first, okay? Elbows in, palms up, okay? Glue those elbows to your body. You can't move the elbows away. And you're just going to rotate out, okay? When you rotate out, you're probably only going to be about 45 degrees before you start to cheat. Feel your shoulder blades. You notice that they hopefully naturally came inward and downward towards the spine a bit. That's perfect. That's what you want. And then come back into the middle. Come back out. You also should feel that rotation in here. It might feel as a tightness. If it causes any pain, then shut it down, okay? But it should not. If you are rehabbing from a shoulder injury and your physio says you could do this one, then do it. And if it causes a little bit of real pulling and discomfort, as long as you're not cheating by doing this, go for it, do it. Okay, most of us just feel a little tiny bit of tightness. And rotate. So this is external rotation. Can you use a band for this? Absolutely. Today I'm being gentle. Out. So, honestly, in class, I don't count, to be honest with you. So you need to know your body enough to go, yeah, I'm done. She can keep going if she wants to, but I'm done because I'm starting to use the wrong muscles. Okay, so give that a little bit of a break. Come down, and we're going to internal, external rotate. Internal, external. So my thumb is coming as back as comfortable as possible. We're all going to be really good at that one because we're like this half the time in the daytime. And then rotate open, okay, without popping the chest and cheating. Rotate open. I really want you to work that rotate open. Open. There we go. You're a kite. Kites don't bend like this. Make sure that's not what's happening. Okay, that's a compensation pattern. It's not what we want to see. Rotate. Good. Okay, we're going to do some diagonal movements. They're great for the body, PNF movements. But If for some reason you cannot raise, so thumb up, you can't raise higher than this, then this exercise you're going to change slightly. So the idea is I have a seatbelt on and you pick passenger driver, it doesn't matter. But the side that's down, the side that you clicked your seatbelt in, or you can think of having a sword on this side. Okay, you're gonna bring that hand over like that, and you're going to open up, thumb up, okay? And you're gonna close. And you're gonna open up. You're only opening up to a nice straight line and back. Those of you that can't, down here for now, or wherever your range of motion is, you should not feel the shoulder right here, the trap hike up. Even if you're up here, okay, you shouldn't be using that part. Let that trap rest down. Let that shoulder blade move. So that shoulder blade's gonna rotate and come down towards the other side. Open. No pain. Good. Taking that same arm, you're going to drop it down, and you're going to think about cross your body and push behind you. Okay? So think about going across your body, behind you. If this one bothers anybody's rotator cuff, you're going to feel that in the back, under your shoulder blade. If it bothers you in a painful way, then stop. If it's just a little bit of a pull, like, okay, no, this is something I need to do, then go, by all means do it, okay? So you're gonna notice your shoulder blade goes down towards your spine here, and then that shoulder blade actually rotates up. Your shoulder blade is key to the movement of your arms. If they don't move, your arms don't move well. Good. Let's try the other side. So get your seatbelt on this side or your sword, whichever you want to think about, and open up and down. Open up and down. I gotta say, movers or losers, this is not the same as actually being in the same room with you. I miss Carol giving me a hard time because we've been doing it for so long. I miss all of you guys. And then the smart ass comments you make. Oh no, maybe it's me that makes those, sorry. Okay. And open and close. Feel that shoulder blade really getting a bit of a movement, loosening up as we go. A couple more if you can. Okay, and then drop it down, come across your body behind. You can go as slow as you need to. My shoulders are good, so I might be going a little too fast for you. Okay, slow it down and really mindfully move. Think about your movements. It's not just a whoop, whoop, whoop. It's about thinking, what is my shoulder blade doing? Can I control it? Can I squeeze it down towards my spine? Can I let it rotate away? Is that muscle super tight in here? What do I need to do to fix this? Is this getting really sore up here? Am I feeling it down into my bicep? Okay, good. Relax those arms for a few seconds. Okay, we're gonna roll very gently. Okay, and then we're going to protract, retract. So if you don't know what that means, it basically means take those shoulder blades and pull them together. The bottom of the tips of the shoulder blades are going to pull down together and then push in like they're pushing towards your ribs. Okay, so that's a retraction. So think about down. Okay, everything is happy right in here. Relax, squeeze, relax, squeeze. I am not doing this, okay? These are relaxed. If you don't know where this position is, sigh, that's the position. Keep them there. Squeeze, relax, squeeze. Focus on the tips coming down and then inward. There you go. Let them relax. Squeeze them inward. I'm not letting this happen. Okay, I think I did once there. You might have seen. That's just because I might be tight, so I'm trying to compensate. So stop that from happening. Squeeze, squeeze. My neck muscles are relaxed. My upper traps are relaxed. My rhomboids, which are the muscle that run at the bottom of your trap from shoulder blade to shoulder blade, are squeezing, relaxing, squeezing, relaxing. Good. And then you're going to protract by reaching for something. So reach, don't let your body rotate. Keep your body locked. Reach towards the screen for me. Okay, so it's just the arm that moved and came back. Other side, out here, let it reach, come back. Other side, reach out, pop it out, come back. Okay, out, pop it out, come back. Pop it out, come back. There you go. My body is not rotating for that. My body is fixed, my arm is doing it. So what I'm feeling is a little bit of pull this way in my shoulder blades and a little bit of work on right here, what's called the serratus, okay? It is the other side of where your rhomboids are. Your rhomboids in the middle, this is on the outside. We want some balance here. Okay, give those a little bit of a shake and relax, okay? We're going to do some pendulums and then work on the neck a little bit, and then I'm gonna call it a day because honestly I'm starting to feel the head, okay? But on Thursday we will do different things, okay? So just come down. Always, when you're here, you don't wanna be here. You wanna be supported with that spine, okay? So come down, let the arm drop, just hang dead weight in the middle of your legs if you can, okay? And then you're going to start with just swinging back and forth. So it's swinging from the shoulder. My wrist and my arm are just dead weight and it's coming from the shoulder, okay? And you should feel a little bit of relaxation. What the idea is, keep swinging. The idea is that you're letting some traction happen. You're letting that arm pull a little bit down from the socket and release a little bit. This is something you generally want to do not before you work out, but maybe after. Okay, you don't want a loose shoulder when you're going to lift anything. Back and forth, good. And then turn that into a little bit of side to side. Remember, popping, it's okay, as long as there's no pain. It's quite often just air or muscles rubbing across each other. And as you loosen, it usually goes away. Okay, and then turn that into a bit of a circle, clockwise, counterclockwise, whichever way you want to start. We're gonna go both. Don't turn this into an exercise. That arm is dead weight. It's just a momentum. And then stop and go the other direction. Make sure you're not curling your spine down. Okay, keep that spine nice and straight. So the shoulder blades have a little tiny bit of tension when you're bent forward. Okay, now one of those felt the best, I guarantee. Go back to that one. So for me, that's this way. Okay, go back to that one, do it a little bit more. Good. And then come to the other side and we'll do the same thing with that shoulder. So just back and forth. Perfect. A little side to side. I'm not going to lie, the side to side does 0 for me. Doesn't do anything. Or as far as, it does something obviously, but as far as feeling good, no. But balance. Okay, and then turn it into a circle. And then head the other direction. Good, and then pick your favorite. And it might actually be different on that arm than it is the other. Okay, good. Sit up. We're just going to work on stretching the neck a little bit in the range of motion. My range of motion is quite limited right now, but I'm going to demo, and then you're going to do whatever your range of motion is. When you're stretching the neck, if you've not heard me say this a million times before, you don't need to go to your full range of motion necessarily, unless it's a comfortable range of motion. So for instance, here, this is my range of motion. It's not feeling great today. Well, actually, that doesn't feel too bad. It's a huge tension for me right now, okay? So I would back off until I feel a nice, happy release. So we're gonna start with that. This stretches the trap, so drop down, keep this shoulder from coming up. This ear and shoulder are friends today, rarely happens. Okay, and feel that little bit of pull in your trap. Don't go to the point where you're feeling tension everywhere. Okay, go to that happy place, please. And then slowly come up and drop to the other side if you can. Always pay attention. Do I have range of motion the same on both sides? Okay, and if I don't, can I pinpoint something in my day that would possibly cause one shoulder to be different? When I look at myself in the mirror, does one of my shoulders drop down lower? Is that maybe the side that I'm wearing a purse all the time, or did for years? Or is there something that I'm doing in the daytime that's causing that? Do I find that when I do this, that there's a huge difference? Can I fix the things I'm doing in the daytime? Okay, come back up. Rotate 45 degrees, so this is your 90, and then look down to the bottom of the floor, feeling that levator. So remember, the levator is the muscle kind of behind, so here's your trap, but it's kind of behind, and it's a strap that goes from the shoulder blade up into the neck. So you could go quite low. I'm not. It's angry on me. It's also a muscle that I have learned. I've said this, you guys, redundant, I know, but it's for those that are new or just tuning in. It's a muscle that I have learned myself not to overstretch because for years I had this posture. Okay, and now I generally have good posture because I've worked it. But that levator was always in a lengthened position. Okay, come round and up, find the other side, and down, find your happy place. Come back to the, I'm gonna come back to the middle. You can hold it for a few seconds if you need to. I'm coming out of it early just because it's inducing some stuff. And don't go, oh, then you shouldn't be doing it. Yes, I should. I need to get my range of motion back, but I need to do it wisely. Okay, so if you've come out of that, you're gonna now rotate your head to the side. You can go as far as you can. For me, it's about here. I think it's a little better than I was yesterday. And if it's triggering something, I'm gonna come out of it. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Rotate back. And other side. Come back around, a little bit of rotation. Okay. And you move it or lose it. You guys are probably not used to this as much as my other classes, but all my other classes, except for you and Keep Going, I end with 3 breaths. So I'm going to end with 3 breaths just so we can be in a happy place to go on our afternoon. Okay? So sitting comfortably. You're going to take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Try to think about filling up the bottom of those ribs. And as you exhale slowly through your mouth, I want you to soften all of the lines of your forehead. And I want you to work down to your eyes and relax them. Relax them to the point where the light changes. Maybe things turn a little bit of red around your eyes. And then go down into your cheeks. Go into the jaw. Maybe your jaw opens a tiny bit. Nobody's watching. And then work your way down the front of your throat and then around the back of your neck. So your whole head should be relaxed. You could take another breath and take as many breaths through the rest of this as you need to. Do not hold. As you exhale, go down into those shoulders and traps. Go down into your chest, down into your stomach, the pelvis, the pelvic floor, down the front of your thighs, past your knees, all the way to your toes. Let your feet just sink into the ground. Breathe. As you exhale, relax the bottom of your feet. Come up to your calf muscles, up your hamstrings, so the back of your legs, into your bum. Let your bum just sink into the chair. If your posture wasn't perfect for a few seconds, it's not the end of the world. Come all the way up in a sweeping motion, up your back, out those shoulder blades, back to your shoulders, and all the way down your arms. Just let them melt all the way to your fingers. Your whole body should feel melted. You shouldn't be holding tension. Take a final breath. As you exhale, enjoy the feeling and relax your mind. My house is so quiet. I hear the ticking of a clock. I hear the dripping of the water off of the eaves troughs. And I see beautiful sun. So no matter what's going on with your day, don't think about all the stress that is happening. I mean, sometimes worrying it's natural. Sometimes we worry about things that we can't control or that may not happen. Try not to worry about the things that may not happen until they happen. Now, when I say that, you need to plan, right? When we know that this could happen, you want to say, if this happened, this is what I need to do. But then you don't want to dwell on that. Make yourself a plan, but don't dwell on it. It's I'll tell you a quick trick that I did when I was having a lot of anxiety. I had a half an hour worry period. So basically what I did, and I, believe it or not, I'm a huge worrier. So what I would do is when a worry came through my mind in the daytime, I had a piece of paper at first, so I remember, and I would jot it down quickly, and I'd say, you know what, not now, I'm going to deal with that later. And then as soon as the next thought came in, I went, not now. Okay, I will think about it, but not now. Jot it down, jot it down, jot it down. Every time maybe those thoughts came back into my head, I'd say, yeah, later. And then not right before I went to bed, because that's probably not the best time, but sometime in the evening, I would look at those and I would start to go, Well, that one was silly. Why would I even scratch that out? And then I would eliminate, and probably out of the 10 worries that I had, 2 were legitimate things that I should maybe think about, not dwell on, but think about, what could I do if this happened? You know, if I lose my job, what can I do? If my husband loses my job, what can I do? If we run out of food, what can we do? Okay, we're not going to run out of food, guys. We're going to be fine. But we're dwelling on a lot of things that we don't need to be dwelling about. If I get sick, what's going to happen? Okay, so a lot of those ifs, scratch them off, make a plan for the ones that you can, and then throughout the day, for God's sakes, don't let those worries get to you, okay? Try to relax as much as you can. Try to do some things for you if you're isolated. I know that it's tough. I have daughters myself. I have one that's a hairdresser that's struggling with the idea of will they close, right? And what can she do? I have another daughter who runs her own business in Saskatoon. What is she going to do? Everybody's got a lot of worries right now, but we're all going to get through this, okay? So now that I kind of maybe depressed you, hopefully not, I'm here for anything that you guys need. I will see some of you tomorrow for a bit of a boot camp. If you want to try the boot camp, you definitely can. You don't have to do every exercise. I'm going to keep it fairly simple because I can't do a lot of them. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it at this point, if I'm going to say, do these and I'm just going to hang around, or what I will do. But I'll give you modifications that you can go as easy as you possibly can, or increase it as much as you can with as little equipment as possible, okay? I will post later tonight. No, I was going to say I'll post what equipment you need, but I'll try to make it with no equipment, and then we'll figure out what kind of equipment you have at home. So if you think about coming to boot camp tomorrow, can you post what equipment you have at home? Do you have a big ball? Okay, if you have a big ball and some form of band, I can probably work around that for sure. And a space to work out, or a mat, or a towel, or something like that. So post or private message me if you have those things. If you don't have big balls and you want to borrow one for a while, I probably have about 8 of them or more downstairs. So shoot me a message, and I can definitely try to get you a ball, okay? It is a good piece of equipment so that you can do quite a few things. So I've probably taken more than enough of your time today. Have a lovely afternoon, guys. Take care of yourself, stay healthy, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.